everyone, I'm Sarah of Rich Textures Crochet and welcome. Today we're going to learn how to crochet the nickel stitch, which you can see here in front of you. Now this stitch is wonderfully simple and easy to work. It features these blocks of double crochet stitches that are interspersed between these little cluster stitches that are also super simple to work. I've named this stitch the nickel stitch simply because it kind of reminded me of the nickel, which is this 5-cent piece in the Canadian currency. So here we are with the nickel stitch. Today for the tutorial I'm going to use a little bit of a medium worsted weight cotton. This is the Pima Cotton by Lion brand, as well as a 5mm or an H8 crochet hook. Links to both of these items can be found in the description of this video. So thank you so much for joining me. While you're here, I invite you to take a look around. Don't forget to subscribe. This channel is updated every single week with free crochet patterns and stitch tutorials. Now our stitch today is worked in rows. We're going to start by making a slip knot and then by working a foundation chain, and your foundation chain today will need to be a multiple of 8 stitches plus 7. So today we're going to start by chaining 31. There's 24. And 31. Once you have your foundation chain worked, you're going to begin row 1 by working a double crochet into the 4th chain from your hook. Your chain 3 at the start here and throughout will count as a double crochet stitch. You're then going to work a double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. So you'll have a total of 5 double crochet stitches, including that chain 3. Next, you're going to work a cluster stitch. To work your cluster stitch, you're going to begin by chaining 3, yarn over. Now back into the 3rd chain from your hook, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. You're going to repeat that process one more time. Yarn over, insert your hook into the 3rd chain from your hook, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. You'll have 3 loops now on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That is your cluster stitch. You're then going to skip the next 3 chains and double crochet into each of the next 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're now going to repeat that beginning with the cluster all the way across. Chain 3. Now yarn over, insert your hook into the 3rd chain from your hook, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Do that one more time into that same 3rd chain, then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Skip the next 3 stitches and work a double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches all the way across. At the end of your row 1, you're going to chain 1 or chain 3 and turn your work. Now for row 2, you're going to begin by working a double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. Your chain 3 counts as a stitch, so starting into the next stitch, work a double crochet in that one and the next 3. So you'll have a total of 5 double crochet, including that starting chain 3. You're then going to chain 3, skip the next cluster stitch, and double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. You're now going to repeat, beginning with that chain 3, skip the next cluster stitch, and double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches all the way across. When you come across to the end, don't forget to work into that starting chain 3, as it counts as a double crochet stitch. That will bring you to the end of your row 2. You're going to chain 3 and turn your work. Now for row 3, you're going to begin by working a cluster stitch. So starting from that chain 3, which was your double crochet stitch, you're going to chain 3 and then work your cluster back into the 3rd chain from your hook. You're going to skip the next 3 stitches, double crochet into the next stitch. You're then going to work 3 double crochet stitches into your chain 3 space. And double crochet into the next stitch. You're then going to repeat starting back at your cluster stitch. So work a cluster stitch, starting with that chain 3, skip the next 3 stitches, and double crochet into your next stitch. Work 3 double crochet stitches into that chain 3 space. And double crochet into the next stitch. Repeat this all the way across, and you're going to end with a cluster stitch and a skip 3, then double crochet into the top of your turning chain. I'm here at the end of my row. I've worked my cluster, skipped the next 3 stitches, and double crochet into the top of that turning chain. You're then at the end of your row 4. Sorry, your row 3. And you're going to chain 6 and turn your work. Your chain 6 will count as a double crochet. That's your first 3 stitches, and your final 3 stitches will count as your chain 3. For row 4, we're going to skip the first cluster stitch and double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. So you're working your double crochet stitches into the tops of the double crochets down below. Chain 3, skip the next cluster stitch, and repeat double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. You're going to do this all the way across. Chain 3, skip your cluster, double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. When you come all the way across, you're going to chain 3, skip the next cluster, and double crochet into the top of your final stitch, which was this starting chain 3. So you're just working a double crochet into the 3rd chain. At the end of row 4, you can then chain 3 and turn your work. Now for row 5, we're going to begin by working a double crochet, 3 double crochet stitches into our first chain 3 space. And double crochet into the next stitch. You're then going to work a cluster stitch. Skip the next 3 stitches and work a double crochet into the next stitch. You're then going to work 3 double crochets into your next chain 3 space. And double crochet into your next stitch. You're going to repeat this all the way across, work a cluster stitch, skip the next 3 stitches and double crochet into your next stitch. Work 3 double crochet stitches into your chain 3 space. And double crochet into your next stitch. Repeat this all the way across until you come to that starting chain 6. When you come across to your starting chain 6, you're going to work that double crochet. So work your cluster stitch, skip 3, double crochet in the next stitch. You're then going to work 3 double crochet stitches into the chain 6 space. And then work a double crochet into the 3rd chain of the starting chain 6. You can then chain 3 and turn your work. That brings you to the end of the repeats for this pattern. For the rest of the pattern, you're simply going to repeat your rows 2, 3, 4, and 5. Your row 2 started with a double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. chain 3, skip the next cluster, and double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. That was your row 2. So repeat rows 2, 3, 4, and 5 for as long as you would like. Then fasten off, weave in your ends, and that is how you work the nickel stitch. So thank you so much for joining me once again. Don't forget to subscribe if you happen to work the nickel stitch and share it on social media. Be sure to tag Rich Textures Crochet. I always love to come by and admire your work. So until next time, happy crocheting. Bye.